Australia has joined 11 other nations in condemning Myanmar's military for killing at least 114 people, including children, in the bloodiest day since last month's coup. The Chief of Australia's Defence Force joined military leaders from the US, Britain, New Zealand, Korea, Canada and Japan in speaking out against the bloodshed. General Angus Campbell says, and his counterparts I should say, a professional military follows international standards for conduct and is responsible for protecting, not harming, the people it serves. We urge the Myanmar Armed Forces to cease violence and work to restore respect and credibility with the people of Myanmar that it has lost through its actions. Well, joining me live now is Joe Siracusa, Professor of International Development, Curtin University now, our professional expert. Joe, good to see you, as always. What do you make of this letter, the intervention by not just Angus Campbell, but also these other military leaders from around the world?
Good morning, Pete. Look, it's well intended, but it isn't going to have much effect. I mean, Myanmar right now is on the verge of a civil war. The resistance in the ethnic states and the periphery will probably join the people in the city. You got 400,000 people in the army there who are engaged in violence against human beings, and the world's trying to do something about it. The UN has proved ineffective. The military people who are chastening the military there can't have much effect because, it's a power grab on the ground. And people are being killed left, right, and center. This is the same regime that a couple of years ago gunned down 10,000 Rohingya Muslims without any qualms. So they'll turn on their own people. It's a power grab, and they want to keep what they have. And of course, the great fear here, and of course, the Army's got the second largest active force in Southeast Asia behind Vietnam. The big fear here is this collapse into a civil war in which all the great powers and the lesser powers have proxy forces there, and it can turn into something bigger than that. And of course, the Chinese aren't going to like anybody intervening in that neck of the woods, and nor would the Russians. So, we'd have all kinds of cross currents here, and we'd have the mixings for something. Now, look at the UN, Pete. A number of years ago, the Secretary General said that when nations can't take care of their own people, human security kicks in. That is, the international community has an obligation to keep people from being murdered by their own people. Right now, the world's efforts to help these people are ineffective, and all they did was vote for democracy. And the Army doesn't like what it sees, and they're giving warnings. We're going to shoot you in the back of the head if you show up. And yet these people show up, and it's going to get worse and worse. But it has the potential here to become a civil war with a lot of proxy forces and all kinds of cross currents. And it's a big country; it's 50 million. So civil war there would take many, many years and cost a great deal of human sacrifice or human savagery. Yeah. So we have an obligation to do something about it. But look, the military can't really get the military to stop, the world's military leaders who get in touch with the army there. This army here is, it's more than an army. There's a bunch of outlaws, actually, who control the country, and that's been the playbook since the late 1940s.
Okay, Joe Siracusa from Curtin University. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks, Joe. We'll talk to you soon.